Ah, so another rant. This week we're seeing more lunacy from the cycling industry. Sram have just released their 13-speed gravel XPLR red group set. Costs an absolute fortune. I think it's the best part of £3 for the whole thing if you're buying the whole thing from scratch. Just again another 13-speed group set that I just don't see the need for it. I know loads of people who've gone back from 1x on the gravel to a 2x setup, but this is a 1x only 13-speed £3,000 gravel group set from SRAM. So yeah, I mean, the bike industry is supposedly in trouble, but this is just a step in the wrong direction. If anything, it's even more expensive. And to put it in perspective, the cassette, which is a consumable, that's just a cassette, it's not the cassette, but just a consumable item, a cassette that you have to change, you know, fairly often on your bike. That cassette for this new group set on its own is £500. So £500 for a consumable part of the group set that you know you're going to have to change on a fairly regular basis. So you look at changing a chain and cassette at the same time, perhaps, because it's another narrow chain, 13-speed chain, so it's going to wear quite quickly, I would have thought. So if you're changing your chain and cassette at the same time, you're going to be in for about £550, £600 before doing anything else the bike requires for a service. And it just seems, again, to be putting things out of reach. And I know some people have got the disposable income and they want to spend it on the latest and the greatest stuff, and if you're doing that and it makes you happy, I'm absolutely not, you know, that's great. But it just keeps putting barriers in the way because people think they need this stuff to get involved in the sport, and they just don't. This, you know, a 10-speed gravel bike is going to do the job for most people if they want to get into gravel. Even an old mountain bike converted to a gravel bike, you might argue, can do the job. But yeah, again, it's another one of these, you know, incredibly expensive group sets that nobody really needs. All right, they say the ratios are closer together on the gearing, but unless you're a gravel racer at a seriously competitive level, which is like, what, 3% of the population less, you just don't need it. And it's just, again, prices going through the roof, consumables going through the roof. The rear mech is a UDH, so you need a specific UDH frame to mount the rear mech for this group set. It's just changing things that don't need to be changed again, bumping up the price and putting barriers in the way. But you know, that's my opinion. What's yours? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think the bike industry needs the constant development, or do you just think, I mean, can you see the logic in £500 for a cassette? It just makes no sense at all. It's just absolutely crazy, and it's going to put it out of the reach of your average cyclist. So yeah, let me know down below, like you always do, what you think.